English. Hello, everyone. Sorry. Thanks for coming and thanks for staying until the very end. We are the last presentation today. We hope to be brief, very effective, and pass the right message. Anyway, we will be around after if you have any questions. So today we want to show you how Looker is able to making data simpler. And as well, we are going to show the use case of Unbabel. Thanks, João, for coming today. They are using Looker for quite a long time now, and they are going to share how it is helping the company. First of all, I will start with some value proposition of Looker, just to let you a little bit know what the tool is and what is the key factor for success. And after, João is going to drive through their use case within the company. And after, if you want, we put some time for Q&A, but we are happy to discuss outside in the cocktail as well. So, starting from the beginning, I am Rute Ferreira, the data analyst and AI specialist for Google. And nowadays I'm working with the Portuguese market, so all companies that are currently in Portugal. And what is GCP? Basically, GCP has an offer, a general offer. Maybe some of you know all the products, all other people will know some of them. So we have products basically that comes from the collecting, the ingestion of data until the very end, which is the activation part. So collect, process, store data, analyze it, and activate it. And today we are going to talk exactly about the data activation, where Looker comes in this stack of products that you can see in the image. So rethink BI. As a company, we think that Looker is much more than a simple BI tool, than a visualization tool. So we agree that we can do much more, and that's what the message I want to show with you today. This is a landscape, so this is the evolution of BI in our eyes. So we see the market within 3 waves. So there is the first wave, there is super strong in governance, data governance, but then has other types of component features that are missing. And that's why the second wave came. So the second wave, it's, for example, the strongest in, until the moment, in self-service, data self-service. And that's exactly where was the strong and developer of the products. But, for example, had some gaps in the governance part. In Looker, we believe that the third wave is where we came in and had the best of the 2 worlds. So basically have all the components before, and we even complemented with, for example, the Git version included or the API features that enables you, well, we're going to talk in a little bit. I am going in advance now. I'm going to talk about this in one slide. Here it is. So in this slide, basically, I want to talk about 3 main points. These are what we think we are the strongest at. The first one in database architecture. So when we analyze the data, we don't extract the data from the database. We consume it and we make the queries live. So all the analyses are on time, in real time. Secondly, the semantic modeling layer. This is very strong for us and is unique. So with this semantic layer, we are able to personalize the metrics of our own company to make us exactly in the way that we need it, not depending in other features or measures. And the data analysts that usually knows the data inside out are able to do this modeling, personalizing, and then share it with the other people that has no necessarily any knowledge of statistics or data in general, any IT knowledge. Two, for them to be able to make their own decisions on time, not depending in other departments. And this is one of the things that João is going to talk about later, how this was able to help them. And third, cloud native and API first. So we are totally a SaaS solution. It's everything is all in our own cloud, or can be in others as well, but it's SaaS solution, and as well the API first, as I was telling before. So you don't need to basically choose new tools of collaboration or etc. applications in order to have Looker. It's the opposite. You can integrate with anything you have, or almost anything you have. You have some examples here and in the next slide as well. So our goal is to emphasize collaboration. So you keep on using what you are using, and you can connect with Looker. So I give you 1 minute to see, but there are much, much, much more. So basically, this is what we suggest that Looker, or the experience that we suggest you to have with Looker. So we think it's a very trusted platform. Basically, you can make decisions with good data, right? So you know exactly what data it is, you can secure it, you have data governance, you have exactly the developers or admin that can be certified, and with the semantic layer as well, for you to take informed decisions, and for everyone in the company be able to do so in a trustful way. And have a good data experience, obviously. So basically, we have our product that scales, that can be given anywhere to anyone, internal or external, and as well without breaking or anything. And there are two use cases where you can use it. Basically is the internal way, where you can use Looker internally within your company and give access to your employees and colleagues. And the other one is the embedded version. So you can embed Looker in an application, in a portal, internet, anything, or just give access to your suppliers or partners for them as well to have the same information as you do in real time. This is something that João is going to talk about as well, the self-service experience, and we talk a little bit already. Basically, yes, we want to empower and emphasize this, to give the opportunity to everyone be able to take secure decisions in real time without depending on anyone. This will only bring success to the whole company, and people will be able to and have more time to focus in new projects or work deep on the ones they already have. This is very new. We announced it in our next, which is our global event last month, where we will have 2 new connectors. So we'll be able, not yet, to connect our semantic layer with Power BI or Tableau. So the ones that already have it and are happy with the tool and don't want to change it for whatever reason, will be able to have the semantic layer that we talked before, that is quite unique in our platform. Prices are not released yet and conditions, but there's something that will happen next year. Blocks. This is very important. So when you have Looker, you will be able to have access to these blocks. What are those? They are basically dashboards already pre-made. When you connect to your data, you don't have, again, to have any kind of knowledge of IT. You just connect with the right data and you have the dashboards made. So where is it used many times? So the most known use cases, one of them is what we call the Looker Cloud Management Block. So basically it connects directly to AWS, Azure, and GCP if you are a multi-cloud company, and it extracts the data from these 3 data sources, and basically will put you together in such a dashboard like this one. You will be able to see where do you expense the most, in what departments, what projects, and it's very useful for you to say, hey, for one or other colleague, look, maybe there's something wrong doing this query or other thing they will detect very quickly. Can you please change or do training? Anyway, you can manage the best way for you and for your company. Obviously, you have the alarms and all that is already included in the tool. Another one is the marketing one. So if you are having already, for example, in Google Ads, one of the other Google products, but there are few. You can connect to them immediately, and the marketing team don't have to know how to make any dashboard. They just connect exactly the same way, extract the data, and then you have the pre-made dashboards. And obviously, then you can personalize and do more queries. So inside, exactly. So basically, we once again, we integrate in all the workspace tools. So with Sheets, Mail, Slides, Chat, you have some of the examples because one of them are more statics, the other ones are totally dynamic. And this is quite new as well, all the new integrations, for example, in the slides. Oh, I apologize, I see that the slides are not very well in the slides and chat. I will repair it. The last one, basically, well, you can access Looker via mobile, internet, computer or tablet, anything. It will immediately, if you don't want even to have the application, what you can do is access via browser, and it will adapt automatically to your screen. It actually works very, very, very well. So as always, you can access anywhere you are, anytime, and make your own decisions immediately. And for me is everything. I will pass for the most interesting part, which is João for Unbabel. Thanks, for participating.
Thanks, Rute. So my name is João. I'm lead data engineer at Unbabel. I'm just going to take like 30 seconds to explain what we do. We're not as famous as Google yet, I hope. So we're building a translation layer for the internet. So what does this mean? Imagine you have someone in your team giving support, and you want to provide that support like in the language of your customers. So what we do, we will allow anyone like you, we speak like English and Portuguese, but you can speak with Unbabel like 40 languages. So like if a customer sends you a request like in Chinese, Turkish, Hebrew, Mandarin, we detect the language that the customer speaks. We detect the language that you know, because you prefill it somehow, and then you receive the message in English, you reply in English, and that person receives the message in their native language. And this basically allows companies to, like with one team, provide support to the entire world instead of having to hire people all over the place. So, having said that, let's go to the interesting part. One thing that you'll know right away on the next slide is that I am an engineer. So the slides are amazing. And I want to talk to you about the story of Unbabel and how we end up using Looker. So before Looker, there was this thing called Chartio. Anyone knows what Chartio is? Rings a bell? So Chartio was a data visualization tool that we use in Unbabel ever since before I joined. So I joined in March 2018. That's like 4 years and something. It had some good parts. So it was quite flexible. So as Rute was mentioning, it sat on top of the live databases, so we could do like live queries on top of raw data. It had some nice visuals. It had a drag and drop interface that generated SQL, and then you could edit that SQL if you want to get more funky with it. It was really easy for non-technical people to use. So from engineers, AI guys, to business folks, operations teams, everyone used it to build their own reports. So self-service was kind of there, and everyone had access to it. So yeah, good. We have data for everyone. Life was great. So I like movie references, so in case you didn't know. One thing that was really hard, so change management. So if you want to change like something on the dashboard, on the chart, you had to copy, replicate the whole thing, and then hope that you forget to delete the other one, and you have to tell everyone, hey, by the way, the new dashboard now is this, please refer to this one. This led to a lot of like duplicated, I used to call it like zombie dashboards, because you have to like a lot of stuff because people forget things. Lots of dashboards that were in use and were marked as deprecated. So I remember like a couple of times like directors and even like C-level folks or like normal people coming to me, oh, our data is broken. What do you mean it's broken? No, this dashboard doesn't say anything right. No, this dashboard is outdated. You should use that one. Yeah, can you imagine how my life was? Adding to that, so there was no way of basically people sharing like the concept. So as Rute, and I'm going to explain about the semantic layer, what does it mean? So our product is quite technical, and some of the measures and some of the analysis that we do are quite technical, and that requires a lot of cognitive load from different people. And because there was no common way of sharing those things, people ended like copy and pasting SQL all around, and we know what happens when you copy and paste SQL. The data team, my team, was getting constant daily requests of, I need a new dashboard, I need more data, this doesn't work, the database is down because like you joined with the wrong key on top of all the other stuff that we had to do, and we were like 3 people. So now that we have context, sometimes good things happen. So Atlassian, that has this amazing thing that engineers don't love called Jira, decided to buy Chartio and decided to kill it. And I remember I got an email, and the CTO got the same email, and he sent me a message on Slack. Hey, you know, have you heard the news? Chartio is going away. I said, yes, João, I've heard the news. I'm quite happy. We're finally able to leave the mess that we are and land on something better. So yeah, Chartio got acquired and will be terminated. So basically, we wanted to move into a place where we would get rid of all the bad things that I told you about. And again, I'm an engineer, so apologies about the slides. Marketing wasn't available. So how today Unbabel works with Looker. So we had some success criteria that we want to catch. So we still wanted non-technical people to use it on a daily basis. Otherwise, my team was small, we were already understaffed, and if non-technical people weren't able to use it, my life would be even more miserable than it was. We wanted to give people more confidence about the data that they were seeing, and not having to worry, oh, like, did João change that SQL like 2 weeks ago? Is that SQL up to date? Something that we figured out was like, okay, we were doing a lot of stuff at the same time, like it was really hectic. But one quote that I learned to love is like, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we knew that was going to be a learning curve from the beginning, whatever tool we end up choosing. And we told people, okay, like this is not going to be an easy transition. We need to take things slowly, but we have 1 year ahead of us. More stuff. So as of today, everyone writes LookML. LookML is the code that Looker uses to generate its semantic layer. And by everyone, I have testimonies of people, I'm not joking, from AI researchers, engineers, like data scientists, aka the nerds, from the product managers to business operation folks, like everyone who writes LookML. Change management like is a bliss, because every change that we do in the underlying logic needs to be reviewed by other people who have like developer access, which makes people a lot more confident when they're changing stuff, and not breaking reports 2 days before a board meeting. Yes, it happened. wasn't pleasant. We are in control of zombie dashboards, as I will show, and oh, my days are so much better. Like it's really like you can see like I'm smiling. I wasn't smiling 2 years ago. Right. So a couple of things. So this is our main like analytics database. So those are like, sorry, this I'm an engineer. You're going to have some engineering slides. So this is like a CPU, how like stress the database is. you can see like some spikes like here and there. Like this is like the night where we run our ETLs. Before Looker, the database was in party mode all the time. I mean, party mode was like 80% up, 24 hours. I can imagine that wasn't pleasant for us to manage that. And now to the fun part. So I had to redact some names, of course GDPR and like privacy and stuff. But we have a channel in Slack called Looker. Wow, how original. Where we have we discuss stuff about Looker. We share work that people do. Maybe like we write code, and then we ask people to review it. And we have like senior BI analyst. I'm looking at the pictures and not saying the names, which is really hard. We have the MLOps, machine learning engineers that is adding like a bunch of stuff. We have our director of AI. So yeah, our directors like write code because they need to have like data to know how the heck our models are working or not working. We have product managers. And they seem happy. Hey, here's another one. Please review my work. We have community managers asking for stuff because we have freelancers. They have freelancers that they need to manage, and they use Looker to understand in terms of supply and demand how are they, so they can trigger actions. We have also the BI analyst, the data scientist helping the community manager. And we have me. Hey, folks, we have some cleanup to do. And every week we send a weekly report to this Slack, which is a performance report. So what are the slowest dashboards? Who hasn't been using Looker? And then me personally, I like to take every Monday 5-10 minutes, reaching out to some people. Hey, you haven't used Looker in a while. Are you okay? Why are you not using it? Before that, we didn't know. People were complaining about stuff, and we didn't know. But now, like, we have more visibility, and you cannot improve what you don't measure or you don't know. So we are, happy.
Good. Thanks, João, for
And we still have some time for questions.
Exactly. I don't know if I bet everyone just wants to go for the networking part, right? We can. Oh, you have a question?
Oh, we have a question.
Hello.
Business intelligence tool. Yes?
Yeah.
What were, I assume that you define some kind of methodology, measures.
Mm-hmm.
Can you nominate 3 or the 4 main metrics or requirements that you defined that was decisive
Sure.
to the selection of the Looker?
Let me load the spreadsheet.
Me too, because actually João made a very good spreadsheet before, and before we do the POC, they did a POC here in Portugal with Nidal, correct?
Yeah, with Nidal.
So we defined that. It was the first part. We defined exactly the success criteria. So basically what we would want us to prove in the POC to make the decision for Looker. And I'm trying to give you time to think about the success criteria because I don't have in my mind
I know a couple
either.
of things. So one thing was, go on. So the first thing was we wanted whatever tool we choose to query the data like live on the database, because we didn't want engineering, aka me, to do additional overload of like loading data on like different parts. And today we have BigQueries and all the others who I don't name, but similar, that basically provide you like infinite compute and storage, so we can leverage those.
That's because Looker at the end of the day is agnostic, so it will connect to all the SaaS data sources very well, obviously as BigQuery and others. Yeah.
The other thing, we wanted a tool that would fix the problem of change management. So we didn't want to copy like dashboards like all around like in changing stuff, because that hurt us in the past. And I had some calls like a couple of hours before a board meeting. Hey, like our numbers are broken. Yeah, well, but why do you need the numbers? I haven't met a board meeting in 4 hours. Okay, so we really need the numbers. And the third was we wanted something that would allow people to put all of their brains, so all of their cognitive load, into anything, in this case LookML, that could be reused by everyone. So that was those the main things. And of course, pricing not going through the roof. And we didn't want to manage it ourselves because we already managed a couple of. There were some open source solutions. I tried on my laptop; they were cool. But then I said, I don't want to manage this. I want to have something working. And it needed to work on the Orange Cloud, not GCP, the Orange Cloud. Starts with an A. So yeah, that was basically it.
Thank you.
Any other question? Cool, so I guess we talk outside. Thanks, João,
Yep,
very much
thank you.
for coming. And I think...
Thank you. Rute and